and welcome to Sticks and Stones. I'm Julia.
And I'm Sue. On today's episode of Sticks and Stones, we'll see what Julia's been knitting up for the winter, the things that Sue has been working on, and we're going to make paper beads. Welcome to episode 30 of Sticks and Stones. Join us. Welcome back.
Well, today we've actually made it to episode 30, which is very exciting.
The big 3-0. Woohoo!
It's getting old.
It's gonna have to start taking ibuprofen for its back. And
still younger than me, but anyway. No, it's a beautiful day here. Somehow we managed to get, 80 degrees in October?
I know.
So we get a little extra time outside.
Yes. Actually, one of the things I wanted to make is the thing that we made last year, which was the candy corn tree. Because, it's fall.
Right.
But I decided I need to wait until it gets colder, because last year I made it, got humid, and all the candy corn started to melt and fall off. And found it was sitting on a table that's by the wall.
Yeah.
And when I cleaned behind there, months later, there were pieces of candy corn that had fallen off the stick.
Your dog didn't find them.
No, they were way behind there between the wall and the table. So.
My dog is I don't know, he eats everything lately. He got into I went to the dentist yesterday, and he got into the little bag they send you home with and tried to eat my toothpaste.
Yum!
So, there wouldn't be any candy corns left at my house, I don't think.
Funny.
Yeah. So
what have you been doing?
I've made progress on my stuff. I haven't done anything, nothing's finished, but I've made a lot of progress. So this is the birthday sweater that I'm working on the sleeves now. I'm hoping, I should turn it around, I think the neck hole might be a little small. I'm concerned about that, but I'm hoping that'll fit, and then we'll have the little thing on the front.
And so if it doesn't fit, are you just going to cut it down the front or something?
No, I'll take this out. I'll take out the neck part and make it stretchier.
Oh,
because it did fit over his head before I put this neck part on. So I'm assuming that as long as it can stretch as large as the neck hole did stretch, which it does, that it should fit. But it looks awfully small for a big kid's head, doesn't it?
Maybe because it's bouncy.
Maybe. So we'll see about that. But it's almost done. And I've got 8 days to finish it, and it will be done.
Oh, you've got plenty of time.
Yeah.
You could probably finish it tomorrow, right?
If I really, if I sat down and did it, because the sleeves aren't that big. I still have to get that.
Still has shorter arms.
They're still 10 inches though.
Really?
Yeah. I forget how big he is. Anyway, and this is the sock that I was working on. Last time I made it down to the first heel, so I've turned the heel and I'm about to start the foot. Kind of plugging along on these, but not going very fast.
I was just telling someone about, I don't know if you guys ever saw when you posted that picture on Facebook, this was quite a while ago, where you had 2 heels on your sock.
Yes.
Remember that? I was just telling somebody that story this weekend, about how you weren't paying attention and both ends had
Those
heels.
Socks were never meant to be.
Did you ever make them?
I did. I finished them. Yeah, I don't know. I probably didn't tell you guys, but it was the stripy black and orange socks that I was making back last summer. The first sock, I wasn't paying attention, and I knit 2 sets of toes. Toe on one end and a toe on the other. So I'm laughing hysterically at myself. Then I fixed it, and then I lost that sock. So that one was gone. So I started another sock. This is the second one. Knit that one just fine. Started the third sock, and somehow or another ended up knitting 2. It was 2 open ends, 2 ribbed ends. So there was a rib end up here, and then the heel, and then another ribbed end. So there was no toe on that sock. What the heck is wrong with me?
That's so funny. You should have kept the first one and cut the pieces off and do it all together.
I totally didn't. First of all, didn't expect to have to make 3 socks for this stupid pair, but yeah, it was never meant to be. They're wonderful. I love them, but they apparently did not want to be socks.
That's so funny.
Yarn was like, no, you're not going to make me be socks.
Nice.
So yeah, it was a funny story. And my last project, I'm designing again. So I made this for a friend. It's my first one, so the ends aren't woven or anything yet. But this is a new knit pattern that
it matches your outfit today.
I'm patriotic.
That's right.
Not July, but anyway. So that's that, and I'm gonna have this second one done soon, and then I'll write up the pattern, and I'll have this up there for anybody who wants it. Neat. So. Yeah, That's about it. I've been debating trying to get another sweater mostly finished because if I'm going to Rhinebeck for New York State Sheep and Wool Festival, and if it's like last year, and if this weather continues, I couldn't wear my long sleeve sweater at the fair. It was too hot. So I was kind of debating finishing up a short sleeve sweater, but that's like 2 weeks from now, 3 weeks from now. I'm not sure I would have time to get it done.
You just wear what you knit.
I'll knit on it as I'm walking.
There's these people who like run and knit and do stuff, you know? You can knit while you're, you know.
It's a possibility if I have the top part.
That would be funny if you started over here, because some of them start this way, you know?
Yeah.
And you start and you have a sweater like this, and the next day it goes to
That
here.
would be very amusing,
That
actually.
would be very amazing.
I may have to think about
If you were ever going to do it, Rhinebeck would be the place
It
to
would
do
be.
it. Because elsewhere, people would be like, that's kind of crazy.
Kind of weird.
Right.
So, okay, if you see a person walking around with a half-finished sweater on, it's me. Because I just might do that now just to see. I don't know.
Are you going by yourself or you're taking children?
No, I'm going alone this year. Actually,
Okay, then you can do it.
Yeah.
I'm meeting Julie's attacking me.
I'm meeting a girl that I met at the Zombie Apocalypse, and she's, I'm renting space in a house that she and a couple of her friends got. So I'm going to go for the whole weekend and take a class. And
Ooh, that sounds like
Yeah.
fun. So what weekend is that? What's the date?
the 19th, weekend of the 19th, whatever that is.
Okay.
So a couple weeks away. So if any of you guys are going to be there, please come and find me, or if you see me, say hello. And I think there's going to be a podcaster meetup at 2, where the Ravelry meetup was last year. There's like a big hill near one of the entrances that everybody kind of congregates on. I can't describe it, but you'll know it when you see it. And if you've been there before, you know where it is. So I'm not going to... Sorry, I can't be more specific than that. But I will be there at 2 o'clock if anybody wants to come say hello.
That's so funny. I'll be on the hill.
I'll be on that hill. Yeah.
Oh, that's hilarious.
So, eating my fair food.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to be going away the weekend before the October, I think it's 12th.
Mm-hmm.
I am taking a class. I don't know if I mentioned this last time. It's mixed media painting.
Oh, you talked about that when we did the T-shirts, but it's been a little while.
So,
that's cool.
Yeah, I have no idea what to expect. I'm not a painter.
Okay.
I don't do mixed media.
No, you do.
No, I do. So it's a
fun.
girls' weekend, but it's it's supposed to spark creativity. So we'll see
Yeah.
what happens. So far it's a very small class. There's only going to be 4 of us, so it should be a lot of fun.
Cool.
And we'll see what happens. It's in Lancaster, Pennsylvania, and there's a lot of neat things in Lancaster. There's the Pennsylvania Guild of Craftsmen, who's the one actually sponsoring the class, and then they have a quilting museum, and they have all different kinds of museums.
Yeah, they
and
need
there's
stuff there for the
a
Amish, right?
bead shop.
Yeah.
All kinds of stuff. So I'm excited to do that. It'll be interesting. If not, I'm sure I'll get a lot of laughs out of it because I'm going with a friend.
How many beads are you bringing home?
I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, I've been measuring up, like, how much money can I spend and what do I really need, because there's always so much stuff at these places, you know.
And then you got to keep a little cash for like one of those. I don't know what I'm going to do with this, but if I don't buy that, I will never see it again. That's the problem with beads and yarn.
Yeah.
Is you can't just go, oh, you know what? I'll wait till later, and it's not like shoes.
Yeah, 'cause
I'll look for it
independent.
online. Yeah.
It's not going to be there.
If you see it, you got to get it.
I'm going to buy buttons. You know how we talked about the turquoise button for the sweater? I think I'm going to go and look for a button for that while I'm there, because there's a couple of really nice button crafts people. So I'm going to do that.
Fun.
And see if I can... I'm probably going to load up more on, like, buttons and accessories and things like that to go with it rather than yarn, because I have a lot of yarn. And I probably don't
Really?
I probably don't
you want
need...
to admit that
It's
and have
need
it
versus
be
want.
recorded for all posterity?
I'm not saying how much a lot is, but I have a lot. I have,
Just saying,
I know.
admitting to that could be used against you in a court
What
of
is it,
law.
12-step program? No, I'm sure I'll buy something, but I'm not going to go nuts. So I'm going to try to stick to the stuff that I'm going to actually use quicker.
Right. So we'll have lots
So.
of stuff to show after
Yeah.
those 2 weekends.
October's a good month.
So I've worked on a few things. One of them was what are these?
What is that?
I saw these in DIY magazine, and they're actually bookends.
Oh my gosh, I'm thinking it's like a back warmer or something.
I put lavender in that one because I had it. But no,
Smells good.
these are for my son, and I asked him
Oh,
to pick
interesting.
out a fabric, and they're the little leopards at school, and he likes cats, so he picked this out. But I saw
That's
it in DIY, so like you can take it and use it because kids cannot use those L bracket,
they don't work well.
those book things. They just don't understand how to use them. And he didn't want to get rid of any books, his picture books, even though he's outgrown them, because they were holding up his chapter books.
Okay.
So I was like, okay, let's clean off the shelf. And I
Yeah.
said, go pick some fabric. And I just thought it's a brilliant idea. It's just filled with rice. I did put lavender in that
That's
one because
good.
I had it, so it'll smell good every time you
It'll
moves
make
it.
his room nice and calming.
Yes, exactly. So,
Fun.
so I made these. And they're actually really fun.
Yeah.
When he came out with the fabric, I thought, oh my goodness, this is the leftovers from my daughter's Halloween costume several years ago.
Guess who's going to be a leopard this year?
I have some if you need, or she can use the costume we have.
I may hit you up for some of that because her costume's a little funny looking.
My son is going to be Calvin from Calvin and Hobbes.
Oh, that's going to be wonderful.
So I bought a red shirt and I'm going to put electrical tape around it. He told me I should sew stripes on it. I was like, I think it's easier to put electrical tape around it. And the other thing that I've been working on in my brain is all of this. So if anybody has ever read The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy,
I have not. I'm sorry.
well, I won't give you the answer, but the answer to life and the universe,
Yeah.
the question to life and all of the universe, I'm forgetting how they say it now, is in this book, and that's how old my husband's going to be this year. So he wants a birthday party.
I know the answer then.
Without having read the book.
Exactly.
So he wants a birthday party. So I have a month to pull this together.
Oh, that's fun.
So I bought this book at a used bookstore, and I'm going to take these pages out and make them into, what the heck's that called? A banner. What is that called?
Bunting.
Bunting. Yes, I'm going to cut these up and make them
Okay.
into bunting. And I'm going to so today I went to yoga, and during Shavasana, when you lay on the floor and you're supposed to just be calm and like let your mind wander, I built in my head the pyramid.
The pyramid.
Yes.
Oh my.
So several years ago, I made my husband a beer advent calendar.
Yes, I do
which
remember
had
that.
25 different beers in it, and he could have one a day for the whole month of December, or up to the 25th.
Yeah.
So what I was thinking is I would make a pyramid, because he likes different kinds of beer. And I'm going to take, so this is what I came up with while I was supposed to be letting my
I'm
mind
becoming a little
free,
afraid.
is I'm going to take PVC pipes
Okay.
and cut them to the size of beer bottles so you can slide them in.
Yes.
And tape them all together and make a pyramid and tell everyone who comes to his party to bring one beer that they think nobody else is going to bring, and
Okay.
try and get 42 different beers.
That's
I'm going to try and get 27 different beers. 34, 67, 55, 23, 19. He's only 19.
Whoa, no, you're a cradle robber. I thought I was bad.
Anyways, to get a whole bunch of different beers, and so I'm gonna make this, and then
you're funny.
So the other part of it, like I was in Shavasana for a while, was I was thinking when people come, they could slide the beer into a slot and put the number on it, like what order he has to drink
Okay.
them in, and like I'll cut out a circle or a square with the number,
Yeah.
and when he takes it off, he can flip it over and write a thank you note on it and send it to
Oh,
him.
good idea. That's really, you
We'll
are
see
very,
if
very
he
clever.
does the thank you note part.
That's up to him. That's out of your hands.
But anyway,
Wow.
so that's what I've been thinking. So I started today collecting all these random things that I'm like, okay, decorations.
Yeah.
So far I have this.
Now, does this relate to beer, or is this
No,
just
it's just
kinda,
it's sort of the theme. That's why he wants to have the party, but he likes beer.
because he wants
and-
beer.
Like, I mean, I was thinking about coming out with a scavenger hunt for the kids, having to do with the number.
Mm-hmm.
But like, how many different things can you do with Douglas Adams? You know,
I don't know.
I'm sure there's a lot if you wanted to go way over the
I
edge.
haven't
but
read the book. Yeah.
it's a little wacky. You have to free your mind to really read it. So anyway,
cool.
so that's all in here in the works. I have nothing to show.
That is going to be an interesting party.
It is. They're always interesting, aren't they?
Yes.
So anyway,
You're a
that's
good
what I'm
wife.
working on. So
Well,
I try. So today we are going to make paper beads.
Yes, and they're really fun and surprisingly easy.
Yes.
And we'll show you how to do it right away.
Come back soon. Today we're going to make paper beads like these, and you can see I have all different shapes in here, and we're going to talk a little bit about how to make those paper beads in those different shapes. So making paper beads is pretty much one of the simplest things that you can do as far as crafting goes. All that you need is right here, and most of these things you already have. You probably already have a scissors and toothpicks. some sort of a glue, whether it's Mod Podge or Elmer's glue, and most importantly, paper. I'm using paper from a magazine, and this paper is also from a map. What you're gonna do is take a page from a magazine and cut it into strips, but you wanna cut it in a triangle. Ideally an isosceles triangle, and if anybody remembers their math, an isosceles triangle is one where two of the sides are equal and then you have one side that's not. And so you end up with this long skinny triangle. From there, all you do is take a toothpick, begin at the bottom of the triangle, at the fattest part of the triangle, and you begin rolling the paper around the toothpick. If you do this project with kids, this is the hardest part for them. They have a lot of times they have a lot of problems, like I am right now. Starting this around the toothpick. But once you get started, you're just rolling it up. The more even you keep it, it's sort of like rolling up a carpet or a yoga mat or something. The more even you keep it, the nicer your bead turns out. So you want to try and keep it right in the center there and just roll it all the way up. Some people find it easier to hold it like this and roll. Other people find it easier to put it on the table and roll this way. You want to try and get it as tight as possible. Or you can also, once you get it started, take it off and roll it around in this manner. So here's a toothpick for you and some Mod Podge and your scissors.
Yes.
So we're gonna make a bunch of different beads. So I have to say that when you had suggested this before a long time ago about making paper beads, and I kind of was like, oh yeah, making paper beads, I've done that. But this summer we made some when I was away, and I realized how, you know, the paper beads I've always seen look like this. They're always, you know, these cylinders, which is fine, but they're always all the same. They're just different colors. But I realized that depending on how you cut your paper, you get different types of beads.
Yes.
So one, if your paper's really long, so this is from a topo map.
Okay.
Which is, they're really big. They're USGS topo maps. I used to work at a place that we'd sell them. And so when you make a really long one, you get a fatter bead.
Ah, okay.
Compared to this one is from the magazine.
Right.
So, you know, you can see the difference. This is a magazine piece and this is a topo map piece. So the longer the piece of paper, the fatter your bead's going to be. And then depending on how skinny you make it, so if it's really wide here at the bottom and goes up to skinny, it's going to be a wider bead.
Yes.
Where if you make it really skinny at the bottom and then make it even skinnier at the top, you get a smaller bead. This one's kind of like just a cylinder.
Right. I wonder if you could do, like, if you didn't have a piece of paper long enough, if you could actually make two long triangles and attach one to the other.
You could just keep adding paper to it, because that's actually what I did with this one.
Ah.
So I was making different beads, and I was expecting you to be here at a certain time, and it took you longer, so my brain kept going. And I was like, wow, I wonder if I can make a really big bead. So I got scrapbooking paper, and this is actually 2 pieces of scrapbooking paper. I mean, it's totally a long, ridiculous bead.
What are you going to do with that long, ridiculous bead?
But this would be fun to make one of those beaded curtains. If you had really
Agreed.
long ones
That would be
like
neat.
that would be really cool.
Or if you put, like, metal on the end and made a wind chime out of it.
Yes.
That would be fun.
So, I mean, this is a completely ridiculous bead. But it's so fun.
It is.
Just to be able to say, I can make a really big bead. But if I wanted to make it really fat, I'd have to keep adding lots of scrapbook paper. So this, I took a piece of scrapbooking paper, and the first one I cut kind of like this. The second piece I cut up to the triangle, and I just glued it in the middle as I was wrapping. So, yeah.
Ah! Don't let go of your piece.
That would be a different craft. That's called quilling, paper quilling.
I just learned, well, that looks really neat. It looks like a spring.
See, and then this bead I made from the map as well, and I started, you know, with it really wide.
Okay.
Compared to, this is the same map, but I started with it really skinny.
All right.
The other thing that I discovered when I was pulling the bead off of the toothpick, I accidentally made it off center, and then it made more like a teardrop, which is kind of cool.
That looks really neat.
So I don't know. I went from being like, well, paper beads, to like, I would really love to make these teardrops for Christmas for people for like make earrings.
Yeah.
The hard part is going to be making them look the same because you have to have the
Right.
paper be the same size.
Right. Maybe cut two at the same time.
That's what I'm gonna have to do because I tried to match these two and they don't look the same. Obviously, the colors will never be the same unless you use uniform paper, like
Right.
scrapbooking paper.
Right.
But
Yeah, these earrings that I was showing you before, we had a little debate about these earrings that I got at a festival years ago, that they're so very smooth, and we were debating if they were sanded or just varnished and then polished, or what it was. But these are extremely smooth and uniform.
yes,
I suppose that would take a lot of practice, but they look really neat.
or a lot of
Ooh.
varnishing.
Yes. Yeah, I suppose there's a lot of different treatments you could do to it. Once you got your beads, you could probably paint the beads if you didn't like the color.
Or you could dip them in something. If you once you put the wire in it, you could dip them in some sort of
That'd be neat.
something. So there's actually a lot you can do with these, and a lot of different things you can try.
Yeah,
So
that would be kind of fun.
yeah, so it is a fun way to use up scrap. I have all these old maps that have been updated. Some of them were from the USGS has been updating its maps, and some of the ones I have hadn't been updated since the 70s. So I really don't need these
Yeah.
maps anymore because, you know.
Some of those roads don't exist anymore.
Right. And some there's new roads.
Right.
So, so I decided this would be fun, and they make a really interesting pattern with all the lines and the green and the blue.
Mm-hmm. I bet book pages would look really neat like this too. They'd be real simple and black and white. Like we were talking about your dictionary. That would be really neat looking in beads.
Yeah, man, we got a lot to do.
Get to it. Yeah, I picked these couple out that I was making earlier, and they are very earthy tones, and one of them here almost looks like wood grain.
It does. That's really neat.
It was like a background that was bamboo or something like that in the magazine, so it turned out really cool. And I have an idea in my head of how I'm going to make this into a necklace, and we'll see if it actually works, but I'll show you guys later.
Ooh, surprise, surprise.
Yeah, right now, I don't know.
Did you need a really big bead for your necklace for right in the middle?
It's going to be the
You put it through your hair.
hair bead, yeah. Yeah, it could be something interesting. I don't know, it's too big for a wardrobe, I suppose. It has to be bendable. Expelliarmus! So, anyway, this is a fun craft, and give it a try if you guys want to.
Yes.
And show us what you've made.
Yes.
These could make some interesting stitch markers even.
They could.
Ah,
They could. I
see, I may have
I'm
another
thinking that
project.
maybe we need to give something away since it is our big 3-0.
Okay.
So maybe I'm going to try and make 2 of these that look the same.
All right. And I will.
You may end up with earrings that look like this. One's really little, one's really big. Just
give
say
one
it's
to
art.
a friend. No, I'll make a set of stitch markers out of these, and then
Alright,
someone
and
can
I will
have-
make some earrings.
Yeah.
And so you can leave a comment on our Ravelry page, on our blog, which is Sticks and Stones Podcast.
Sticks and Stones Podcast.wordpress.com.
We've been rehearsing that for 30 episodes and finally got it right.
Yeah, leave us a comment there, and we'll put up a thread to show you what you need to say, and we'll go from there.
Did they have to comment about anything in particular?
Well, I don't know yet. That's what we gotta figure out.
You know what I think they should comment about? Because you said something really scary to me yesterday. You said, it's the beginning of fall, which means it's only 2 months till Christmas.
Ooh, yes.
So tell
it's
us
true.
what you're working on for Christmas gifts.
All right, that sounds good to me. And we will see ya online. And if you're at Rhinebeck, don't forget, come say hi.
And if you're at the mixed media painting class, say hi. I'll be the one that's mixed up in the media.
Well, thanks for watching.
Thanks.
We'll see you later.
Have a great day.
Bye.